perspective so that you can fix your mindset. If you are feeling stuck, if you feel like you're not seeing what you want to happen, if you feel like you've been kind of just thinking about the same things over and over and over, and you're not really sure where to go, what to do next, how to fix it, come hop on here. Let's talk a little bit. So if you're new on here, welcome. If you're a returning visitor, it is good to see you. My name is Brooke DeSantis from brookedesantis.org, where you can find tips, tools, and resources to help you build your business on social media without paying for ads. Because really, you probably started your business wanting to make a little bit more income. So I'm going to give you some things to help out so you don't have to spend all those little pennies that you make in the beginning on ads, right? So let's talk a little bit about a better perspective. I've kind of, if you've been following me for a while, I've been going through a lot of stuff over the past year, give it a couple of years probably, but in the last year, there have been a lot of big changes. And so this is like this is the 1 year anniversary, however you want to look at it. And so without realizing that it's the 1 year anniversary of a bunch of different things happening, I wasn't, feeling like myself. And so anyway, really dear friend of mine had sent this voice clip in one of our team chats, and there were like 6 of them, and I was listening to it. And the last one really hit hard because she was talking about how, if you are so stuck, what is kind of thinking about what's keeping you stuck. And I didn't really think I was stuck until I realized, some things. So all that to say this, right? If you start to realize why things aren't happening, if you start to kind of take a step back, it can make a really big difference in what you're seeing. If you've ever heard of NLP, one of the strategies that they use in NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, is that you kind of picture yourself looking from the outside looking in, right? And so you can kind of see what's going on and then give yourself the person who was in that position like a little pep talk almost. And so when you're looking at things, I feel like you can look in a couple different ways. And if you are, by the way, tell me what platform you're tuning in on, because per usual, I'm on multiple platforms. And so I've got people everywhere: YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. I don't know if I have TikTok hooked up this time. No clue. But kind of like take that step back, because if you feel like you want to see something better, if you feel like things should be better, but you're not looking at the reality of the situation, and this is what my friend helped me realize, is that sometimes you may be focusing on where you came from and what happened previously. But what happened previously does not have to determine what's going to happen next, right? What happened back then does not have to determine where you're going to go. Instead, if you kind of look at it from the perspective of, this is where I am now, what do I need to do? Like, seriously, what do I do to fix it? What do I do to get where I'm going? And just have that little pep talk with yourself of, okay, maybe sitting here longer than I need to, staring out the window or scrolling on TikTok isn't going to do me justice, right? But seriously, getting real with yourself as to what you have not been doing that you need to do, right? Maybe you're not exercising as much as you need to. You know that there's a new year coming. Everyone makes New Year's resolutions. Everyone that I know makes a resolution. But I think it's something, I can't remember the statistic off the top of my head. I probably should have looked before I came on here, but it's something crazy, like 70, 80%, might be a little bit more than that. Majority of people that make a New Year's resolution don't stick with it. So why do you wait for that new year to make a resolution, to make a change? Why do you wait for that new year to decide, I'm going to do this because I want to see this happen? So I feel like if you're like me, you get set on, okay, this is what I want to do. I'm going to get everything set up. And then when I have time, I'll start it. And that's like a trap that you can really fall into, because if you fall into that trap and you're just putting everything off because life happens, well, unfortunately, life is always happening. Life doesn't stop happening. So there's always little things that are going to get in the way. So it's really what you do now that matters, right? It's really what you do right now that's going to make the difference. I'm looking at my face in this and I can tell I've been outside all day and it's like super cold. I've been on my horse on the trails and I can see it in my eyes that the cold really got to me. Goodness. So anyway, I digress again. So if you kind of write down, what it is that you want to see, what it is that you would prefer to have happen, and then you can kind of backtrack from there. And this is something I used to talk about a lot in the past, and I feel like it's not something that I've talked about a lot lately. Maybe it's a topic I'll move back to. I don't know. We'll see. I'm trying to decide. I'm working on some new content strategies, by the way, so I'm going to have some new stuff rolling out, which will be really nice. But one of the things that you can do if you know this big goal that you're making, that you want to have, big goal that you want to meet, a lot of times people make the mistake, and I know I've done this too, of you're not looking at the little parts and pieces that are going to get you there. You're looking at the big thing, and when you don't make that big thing happen, then you fall backwards because you feel like it's never going to happen. And that's not true. That's why it's so important to be realistic, to be looking at things from a perspective that is actually going to make sense. If you have 100 pounds to lose, you're not going to lose it overnight. Stuff like that. Keep it simple for yourself. So changing your perspective and changing the way you're looking at something can really make a difference, because if you're looking at it from the perspective of the little parts and pieces, little things that you can do, that's such a big difference than if you're looking at it from, I need to reach this big thing and I'm going to do it, but then I fall back and it ends up being like a New Year's resolution that you never stick with, right? So point of all this to say, break down what you want into smaller pieces and look at it from the lens of those little pieces, because that will help you pinpoint exactly what it is that you want, what it is that you need to do, and where to go next. Because sometimes you don't really know your next step. Sometimes it's almost like spaghetti thrown at a wall, and you're hoping that what you're doing is going to work, right? How many times have you done something, go and hope and pray that it works, and then it doesn't work because you missed something? Been there, done that. So hope you found this helpful. And I did post in my stories, and I'll post it a couple more times. I'm looking to do some collaborations, probably some dual lives, coming out with some new content. So if you're one of those people that wants to be interviewed or just wants to go dual live and we can chat back and forth, let me know. I'll get you on the schedule. So I hope you have a great day, and I'll talk